Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Jurassic Park III. Jurassic Park III is a 2001 American science fiction adventure film, and the third installment in the Jurassic Park film series. The film stars Sam Neill, William H. Macy, Téa Leoni, Alessandro Nivola, Trevor Morgan, and Michael Crichton. It is the first film in the series not to have been directed by Steven Spielberg, nor based on a book by Michael Crichton. The film takes place on Isla Sorna, off Central America's Pacific coast, the island featured in the second film, where a divorced couple has tricked Dr. Alan Grant into going in order to help them find their son. After the success of Spielberg's Jurassic Park, Johnston expressed interest in directing a sequel. Spielberg instead gave Johnston permission to direct a third film in the series, if there were to be one. Production of Jurassic Park III began on August 30, 2000. Despite mixed reviews from critics, the film was successful at the box office, grossing $368 million worldwide. A sequel, Jurassic World, was released on June 12, 2015. Plot: Ben Hildebrand and 12-year-old Eric Kirkby go parasailing around the waters of Isla Sorna. An unknown creature attacks and kills the boat crew, forcing Ben to detach the line. He and Eric drift towards the island. On the mainland drive, Alan Grant has become famous after his involvement at Jurassic Park, while Ellie Sattler is married and has 2 children. Grant discusses with Sattler how raptors are far more intelligent than they had previously believed. At a dig site, Grant's assistant, Billy Brennan, demonstrates how he can use a 3D printer to replicate a velociraptor larynx. Paul and Amanda Kirby, a seemingly wealthy couple, offer Grant funding for his research if he will give them an aerial tour of Isla Sorna. Although initially suspicious of their true intentions, Grant is desperate for research support, and thus reluctantly agrees. He flies there along with Paul, Amanda, Billy, and the Kirby's mercenary associates, Udesky, Cooper, and the pilot Nash. On the plane, Grant learns that the Kirkbys actually plan to land on the island. When Grant opposes, he is knocked out by Cooper and wakes to the sound of Amanda using a megaphone. This attracts a Spinosaurus, which devours Cooper and Nash. The creature's obstructing of the runway causes the plane to crash into the forest. Fleeing, the survivors briefly lose the Spinosaurus, only to encounter a Tyrannosaurus. The Spinosaurus returns, but the group escapes while the 2 titans fight each other. The Spinosaurus overpowers a T-Rex and kills it. Grant, demanding the truth from the Kirbys, learns they are actually a middle-class divorced couple, who are looking for their son Eric and Amanda's boyfriend Ben, who have been missing on the island for 8 weeks. Later, the group finds the parasail with Ben's corpse attached. The group takes the parasail, and then encounter raptor nests. They find an abandoned InGen compound, where Amanda is ambushed by a raptor. The group manages to trap it, but it escapes and contacts the rest of its pack. The group flees into a herd of Corythosaurus and Parasaurolophus, causing a stampede, separating Grant and Udesky from the others. Grant retrieves Billy's satchel, while Udesky is left on the ground barely alive by the raptors, who set a trap in an attempt to lure the others out of the tree they had climbed into. Amanda is nearly killed by the raptors when she tries to descend to help Udesky, and upon the failure of their trap, the raptors kill Udesky before departing. Grant suspects that the raptors are searching for something while observing 2 of them communicating. He becomes ambushed and cornered by the raptors, but is rescued by Eric, who managed to survive in an overturned water truck. The next day, Grant and Eric hear Paul's satellite phone ringing and are reunited with the Kirbys and Billy. Paul explains that he gave the phone to Nash before he was devoured, before the group is attacked by the Spinosaurus. After the group escapes, Grant discovers Billy took 2 raptor eggs to use for funding, which provoked the raptor attacks. He decides to keep the eggs to ensure the group's survival. The group unknowingly enters a large aviary used to house pteranodons, which attack the group and fly away with Eric. Billy rescues Eric by using Ben's parasail, but is then attacked and seemingly killed by the pteranodons. The rest of the group escapes the aviary, unintentionally leaving the door unlocked. They make their way downriver using a boat. That night, the group hears the phone ringing buried in the feces of the Spinosaurus and retrieves it. As rain falls, Grant tries to contact Sattler, but the Spinosaurus attacks the boat. Grant sets the boat's fuel on fire and burns the Spinosaurus, causing it to flee. The next day, the group makes their way towards the shoreline, but are surrounded by the raptors once again. The eggs are surrendered to the raptors, while Grant uses the replicated raptor larynx to confuse the pack, who run off with the eggs. The group flees to the coast and find that Sattler had called in the U.S. Marine Corps and the U.S. Navy to rescue them. They discover that Billy, while seriously injured, is still alive. As they leave the island, they see the pteranodons flying free, and Grant muses they are looking for new nesting grounds. Creatures on screen. In a deviation from the previous films, the Spinosaurus is considered the primary antagonist, Johnston stated. A lot of dinosaurs have a very similar silhouette to the T-Rex, and we wanted the audience to instantly recognize this as something else. The silhouette of the Spinosaurus is also on the poster behind the pteranodon, taking the place of the Tyrannosaurus which had been used in the previous film's posters. Baryonyx was originally considered to be Big Bad before Spinosaurus was chosen, and early concept posters reflected this. Within film dialogue, Billy interprets the animal encountered as a baryonyx as such homonymous, but Dr. Grant corrects his analysis based on its size and its sail. Due to new discoveries and theories in the field of paleontology, the portrayal of several dinosaurs differed from that of the previous films. Discoveries suggesting that Velociraptor were feathered prompted the addition of quill-like structures on the head and neck of the males in the film. We found evidence that velociraptors had feathers, or feather-like structures, and we've incorporated that into the new look of the raptor, said paleontologist Jack Horner. The film's technical advisor, Spielberg, insisted to Johnston that he include pteranodons in the film, after they had been cut from the previous films for budget reasons. An aquatic reptile was featured in the first draft, but was ultimately removed from the final script. The special effects used for the creatures were a mixture of animatronics and CGI. The following creatures appear in the film. Thank you for watching. Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.